finally, we managed to defend our PhD thesis today at the Center for Translational Medicine. It was great work behind that in the last 4 years. So today the committee members and the audience and the atmosphere was really supportive and emotional, and family members as well. So yes, it's a great milestone in my career, and I believe this is not the end. It's just the beginning for me. The research that we have been doing, it opened our eyes to so many new ideas. That's going to be the next step for us, hopefully.
This translational medicine program indeed helped me a lot to get to this point. It provided a lot of help and guidance through my PhD work, and it really gave a frame to this whole PhD program, and I really just had to put the effort into it, and it gave back results.
I was really impressed. It's a fantastic, unique and special program that I would like to suggest to everyone, because they made a wonderful job, really interesting papers and studies with a lot of inputs for everyday practice, and especially the possibility to defend their job is really interesting, even with an international committee, which is not usually, at least in my country.
This was really an exam, an international exam with really highest level of scientific committee. Most of the committees were led by members of Academy of Europea with a high scholarly achievement, and everybody in the committees were absolutely impressed by the quality of the students.
Going through this program gives them a lot of transferable skills. They have to present, they have to give these presentations, they are videotaped, they are available online. I think that's quite a challenge, and they have to do several of those. So it starts very clearly with a very intense first year, where they'll have to go through that several times, and there's also a selection process. So it gives them a good experience for what the entire program looks like until they go to question progress report number 8, the final hurdle to take.
See really huge evolution. The quality of students to be trained at the very beginning to start guided by supervisors. Over the time, you have consecutively 6 documented videos for the presentation. You see the huge improvement. Apart from that, during this period of time, of course, the students not only committed into the literature review publications through systemic training in meta-analysis, and publish finally the work in leading journals, the D1, Q1 journals, really peer-reviewed one, recognition of those collective efforts. Of course, that means by the supervisor and also the students.
The role of the supervisor is to guide the students, so of course we shouldn't do the work instead of them, but we should give them the means, the tools to perform the research in a high quality. And also, if they will face any issues, any of those boundaries that are difficult for them, we should guide them through these challenges.
I think this is a really special program, and this is just really general, but of course I would not be here without this program. And I think it's a great mixture of both professional skills and both soft skills, which are both of them are important for the right outcome and in the personal development of someone. So I just can't be grateful enough that I was able to participate in the program.
The dedicated time, what I get from my workplace, for example, and the weekly group meetings, I think that was the most useful part for me, because I had to present every week, and in the previous week I had to make something. So I couldn't stand there that, okay, I didn't do anything in the last week. So I think for my improvement and for the forward, that was the most useful. And writing an article, I haven't made it before. So from my SMA, Brigitta Tajcs, I got a lot of support how to make this article and publish it in a good journal, actually.
They will understand how to read and to answer to their questions, because nowadays the books are not saying what to do. We need to find out, because the research is evolving very quickly and the data, so you need all the time to read and know how to read and know how to interpret the readings, and from that, what are the purposes you want to research more and you want to progress more. This is a very interesting and a very moving now science for medicine.
There is a real great need for science education in the healthcare system. And that's not only a matter of time, but also a matter of how to do it, education. And that needs to be in a structured way, and there needs to be incentives being created. And what I particularly like in this translational research, that they create the opportunity to do both clinical training and research simultaneously. And I think that is good for the quality of research, but it's also good for the people, that they go a parallel track and that they will continue to think this way and to work in this way thereafter.
I think it's a very smart way to educate here the PhD students. I learned that they have 8 different talks to and presentations to make, and I think that's always a step forward, and I think such a structural PhD study makes much sense. Yes, it's impressive. Very good.
I plan to stay in the academy partly and continue to support other PhD students' projects methodologically, and also until my defense we were planning a clinical trial, and next month we start to also initiate it, and after that actually we'll conduct it, and we will plan to also conduct more clinical trials in the future too.
I can see on them that many of them don't want to stop science. They really would like to get their own scientific question, their own projects, maybe a clinical trial. So I think now we need to go back to the decision makers, to the policy makers that come on. Here are so many young scientists, physician scientists, who really would like to continue in science. However, what you need to continue, you need separate grants and separate calls in clinical translational science, that here are the calls for the young individuals who are coming up, to give them the first seed grants to start their own projects with their own PhD students.
I would recommend this program to everybody who is interested in research, has good ideas, and motivated to do research and want to develop as a researcher.
For everyone actually who want to research and make a PhD, especially for dietitians, because I'm not a doctor actually, and in the very first point I got involved to the group, and everyone was medical doctors, just me was the dietitian, and they always helped for me. So other healthcare professionals, nurses, physiotherapist, I think this can be a good solution.